What's up? I'm Hexor. My album Rain Season came out about a month ago on all good streaming platforms, and also my SoundCloud and my Bandcamp, which will be in the description. If you haven't already listened to Rain Season, I'd ask you to. It would mean so much to me. This album took me like more than half a year to make, and it's definitely my favorite thing I've ever made. I'm ridiculously proud of it, and I really hope you agree. The support on it has been outstanding so far, and I can't thank you enough for that. If you're one of the people who's already sent me any support on that, and yeah, I love you all. You're amazing. I didn't mean to go this. Now this is gonna be a quick tutorial, and I only just decided to do it, so I haven't been planning this. But I sort of like a future bass arrangement, sort of ideas and shit tutorial, like general sort of showing you the process behind me making my tracks, which I think is quite interesting, and I'll let you decide if you agree with that or not. It's gonna be a short tutorial, as currently it is about like 80 something degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius in the UK, and I'm boiling to death in my room, and there is no like air ventilation at all, and it's painful. So I'm going to make this quick. Let's have a look at the intro, or I'll just play a bit of the intro for you. Please excuse the delicious Fruity Loops CPU murder that may take place when I play this. That's the intro. That's the intro. So you might be able to notice straight away it's offset, so it starts on after. I mean, the song like starts after 8 bars. As I want to do this sweep in the intro, yeah. If I just shove the whole thing here, then it would start on the 3, and a lot of people do that, I think, when they're trying to get stuff like that done. I can't. It just confuses me too much. My brain is tiny. I have 2 IQ, so yeah, I wouldn't really do that. You do it, but like I find it just easy to do this. Except when you want to export the song, you have to like start and then select the whole thing from like here, which is quite annoying. Apparently, I can't say the word thing. So over here we have the percussion. This song was actually started from creation of the percussion. I just made this and I thought it was neat. This is one of the many songs on Rain Season that was conceptualized, that was initialized, that was put to life, that was really began and given life and brought into being by the title of the song. Blind Spots is the name of the song, and that is a song by C418 from the Minecraft soundtrack, and it's fucking beautiful. I love that song to death, and I think an Eclipse Sounds artist, Cyanox, did a cover of that as well, so shout out to him. So I did kind of steal it from that. Except I stole I did steal the fuck. I stole the song name from him before I realized that the song that it was a cover of the C418 song. So basically, I'll stop talking now and I'll show you the percussion. This is the first bit. That's got a lot of reverb on it. If I just skip ahead to this bit, there's a second instance of the same snare with less reverb. I'll show you these perks and shit. There's that and a lower one. and put together, they are balanced out, basically. They've both got reverb. This one's with a fair amount of reverb, 2.6 second decay. I would advise you, I don't really know, I didn't do it here. This was made like maybe March or late March 2021. But I've improved a lot of production, and one thing I really would advise you to do when you're setting reverb on anything, turn the low cut up. You don't have reverb on your low end. That will muddy the fuck out of your mix. You don't want that at all. Just turn the low cut up to about 11 o'clock here on this knob. And what the fuck? Oh, okay. So basically, I've just remembered that in March I used to basically when you're making a low cut, just do this. Click there. This one. Wow, so easy, and it doesn't leave any behind. If you low cut like this, it takes longer, and also it lets more through just down here. Just you really don't want. And it appears I've cut out some frequencies just because it was too harsh. Yeah, do that. This is, I assume, routed to a different mixer channel, which is just the same but with less reverb, basically. That's the snap. This is a snap. With small amount of reverb. Like I said, turn off the low cut. I don't know why I didn't. And this is a delay. Obviously, if I turn it all the way up, that's a cool effect. But I just wanted a tiny amount, so I just put it down to 8% or something near there. Fuck. Yeah. So originally, the intro sounded something like this. That's very empty, you know, you can just hear the respace. I've gone through respaces in like 2 of my tutorials, but I'll do it again. Saw wave, detune, low pass filter. That's about it. Yeah. Another tip for the respace, like I said, your low end is very easy to work with, but it's important. This is another one of my little rants. So if I have this low end here, this is stereo, you know, right? So one thing I can do. So here I've got this patcher preset that I'll put in the description called midside EQ. This is just your regular EQ, right? So if I high cut this, you can't hear it. Is that because I'm not playing? Yeah. So high cut that. Obviously, just don't do anything there. Yeah. But sorry, if I put that all the way down there, you can just hear it regularly. Sometimes I just cut that a bit high because you don't need it. Basically. But what you really want to do is take the side EQ. What I normally do is just cut sort of around like 200, 250 hertz. And that will mean all the low end beyond this point is completely mono. And you want your low end to be completely just mono. Usually that'd just be a plain sine like sub bass. But if it's not, sorry if you can hear me cracking my knuckles, I just do that every 3 seconds. Then you can experience like phasing issues, which is basically where 2 sound waves start, but like they're slightly offset. I don't know exactly how this works, but if I take a sine wave and then another sine wave, then they have bits that go up and bits that go down without getting too complicated. And if there's a bit that goes up and then the same wave playing at a different time, so there's a bit that goes up and a bit that goes down at the same time, that those will just cancel each other out and there will be no sound. So you absolutely don't want that to happen. That can fuck your low end, and you don't want that. So mono low end basically. Midside EQ is a fun way of cutting out lows on like a free space, which you want to be stereo in sort of the low mids, I guess. But for the sub low end, you just don't want any stereo at all. Okay, that's that's my like 3rd really long rant of the day, and we haven't even got past the intro. This is a marimba. Playing the chords of the track, but simplified to like 2 notes each. Lovely. Lovely. So this track is an A major. This is a marimba. From Flex. It's the wide marimba preset. I use this in probably about half of the tracks on Rain Season. Lovely preset. Sounds probably like shit. There's very like the harsh high pass on this. Actually does cut out the main fundamental of the sound. It's an intro really, so you don't need that whole. And I have two delays. There's a 1/4 note, or a quarter note, or a forgot the other word for it delay. And this delay is just really short at the start, just to give it a little bit of a like that. You can barely hear it. And obviously a reverb. Turn up the low cut. I can't stress this enough. Short delay, just to give it some more interestingness. This is an ambience that I made to fill up the intro. It is I think it's a fruity convolver. I might explain that in another tutorial, or even maybe it's on a Sunbeam stream, because I did use it in that, I believe. Did I? Yeah. So basically, that's just gonna take like a blur sound wave. I believe I made it from the first hit of the drop, which sounds like this. I think I made it before I put the flanger on it, so it's not that flangery. But yeah, that is an ambience. This is a shaker. Again, reverb. Please turn up the low cut. I didn't. Another short delay. High pass. High pass your percussions, by the way. Wait, actually, let me show you an example. When you shouldn't. So obviously this is the perk, and let me just turn this EQ off for the purpose of the point. This is my EQ. I want to cut out the. We don't need any low end on this. It would just obviously create like stereo and weird muddiness to the low end. You don't want that. Keep your low ends clean. But you see this little point here? The fundamental of the snare. Don't cut that out. It will just remove the punch to the transient of the snare. You hear that? Don't do that. It's pretty easy to spot on the EQ if your FL's updated properly and everything. You've got the new parametric EQ. So yeah, and it's even noticeable on the old one. It's just slightly more annoying because they don't have the actual spectrum or whatever it's called. I'm not a mixing engineer. Don't fucking ask me. Progressives, we have a longer. And we're also automating the panning on the shaker loop. So put both your headphone ears on. I'm not right now, but so it goes left ear, right ear, left ear, right ear. Or the other way around. Wait, hang on. Yeah, right ear, left ear. My bad. I can't tell left and right. And here's an up. Flex once more. Yeah, that's about it for the intro. There's some transition effects made out of. I love that. That's just really nice sound. And like I said, convolver. And that's just a whoosh. High pass because the O end. High pass because the low end on this sample is just incredibly janky. That's disgusting. So yeah. High pass your FX, again, like I said, doesn't need the low end. Obviously, that's not a necessary rule. It's like a good sort of habit, but use your judgment is what I'm saying. If I'm gonna present you with something you should always do, there could be a time where it just so long as you clean it up properly, you don't need to absolutely high pass everything all the time apart from the low end. I mean, okay, that's a rare example. So anyway, I'm gonna get into the main sort of bulk of the ideas of this track. I know I played that. I'm gonna get into the sort of main bulk of the ideas of this track right now, which is LFOs and automating LFO rate. So this is just a cutoff filter. This is a synth, and that's just a serum saw. I cut out the lows pretty jankily, but with a low filter, I don't really know why, and a hype dimension. That's about it. It's currently filtering in, but no reverb or anything. There is obviously in the drop, but I believe I'm probably just automating the reverb somewhere, and I haven't like. What's up with the reverb? Oh right, so really low dry signal and high wet signal to wash it out. And the interesting part. That's an LFO. It's a triangle LFO right now. I don't really know how LFOs work. You just go into an automate. Basically, if I create an automation clip, right? Like say I just automate the volume of this impact here. Obviously, don't do this on your impact. Actually, you could because it's like cool effect for whiteness. Anyway, so we're just gonna go double click on the top of this LFO, and I can automate the speed. Look, check this out. How cool is that? That's really cool, I think. Forgot to mention, by the way, there's a pad in the intro. Not great. These tutorials I haven't done one since like October, but yeah. So the build up is quite reliant on this this LFO automation. That's a master filter. I need that. But yeah, check this out. Sounds great. I build up around this. It just sort of filters out like this without and then a bar. And we have this tom fill here. I'll run this now. Nothing too complicated. And in the build we're also filtering in the sort of a really simplified version of the drop synth. Sounds disgusting because of the fruity CPU lag, but yeah. And speaking of fruity CPU lag, do you want to hear the drop? And that is why I won't be playing the whole thing. So basically we have drums here. Quick recording check. Yay. Yeah. Oh, nice. Alright, anyway, this is a kick. It's quite clicky, sort of tappy, sort of. But it has a thing. That has like a bassy end. Anyway, so If I get into the main sort of focus of the drop, obviously it's this. Lots of filter automation, reverb automations. Obviously, what I said about this. That's that. And we also have a flanger on it. Obviously, that varies every time I play it, so you never know what you'll get. It's like a box of chocolates. You hear that? Lovely. Don't really know, this kick never plays when I ever open the project. It's just too laggy. Just ridiculously laggy. So I'm going to go over what we have. This is the main synth. Doesn't sound like that in the drop, obviously. We have a Fruity Balance automated volume, and then on top of that, turn up the low cut clear. We have probably didn't cut enough lows on that. Actually, no, I did. I literally was talking about fundamentals earlier. That's a lot of high end. Be careful, Kieran. That's a lot of high end. We have way too much high end. I think I ran into a disaster mixing this, to be honest. I'm not going to get into it, but it was just disgusting. This is supposed to be a sort of more subdued, chilled out track. Like, say, Borealis is another future bass cut on the album. Yeah, so here I'm going to go into what layers we have, as we have a lot. So first of all, we have this square synth pan flute. How is that a square synth? Oh, right, I nicknamed the main synth Square Synth, even though it mainly uses saw. Okay, don't ask. Square synth saw, there we go. So here's our saw. Here's our second saw. That's actually a square. No, it's not. Okay, my ears are just broken. This is probably a square. Oh, that's a synth preset that I use in almost all my songs that need synth saws and stuff. So altogether they sound like this. Beautiful. And here's the actual square wave, yay. Square wave with the unison, no effect. Little envelope. And I took chord and basically just did this with it. Very quick arpeggio. Common effect in future bass. And if we turn on this automation as well, you can kind of hear that. Let's play it again in the outro of the track as well. And if I add together all the other synths and a flute as well that we have. Yeah, there's a lot of pan pipe, pan flutes used in this. So here we have the final. That's not the main melody of the drop, of course. Which brings us on to the marimba. Yeah, that's the thing. Why does that max out my CPU of all things? It's a shitty 16-bit flex marimba. Why does that fuck the CPU? I do not like flex. I mean, I love flex. It basically just helped me write my entire album because there's flutes and marimbas. But like, why? Why, dude? It's 16-bit shitty marimba. I'll show you what we got on this. With the low cut up, I did it. Wait, did I actually do that earlier in the? Yeah, I did. Sorry, my bad. No, I didn't. Anyway, I don't really know why I didn't put a straight melody and I have like really like strange patterns on here and stuff. This is actually 2 layers, by the way. There's a vibraphone as well. through my brain at the time. So if we move on, this is the bass, the 808, the main driving low end, the kick, the best, the sound of the drop of the album. Can you guess what plugin I use for this 808? Bet you couldn't. Flex. So basically we have the mobile tuned 808 library. So the main sort of just sub in most of the areas of the drop. One. I'm going to round about low end again. You want to chuck the midside EQ on it again. I'd really want to say that. So just, it's clean mono low end for the sub frequency. Anyway, moving on, we also have this one. The Destroyed. I just turned all of these up. Probably rescued it a lot. No, I didn't. Whoa. So chuck the midside EQ on it again. If there's cuts, it's because I keep showing my file explorer. I don't want to do that. So yeah. So it kind of varies between. Tiny little. Tiny little sort of weak little boy sub. And you've got big, strong, big dog, big boy, big, hard-hitting, noisy, sort of thing. Yeah. Added reverses. Added percussion. And in the background there's also this little sort of tremolo on it with the fruity balance, but not fully. And in the second half of the drop we have this. Sorry, I accidentally clicked the 808. One sec. Second half of the drop we have this. Sort of dipping in and out with the filter automation because variation doesn't want to feel too static. Yeah. And this goes full time. This is added. Funny percussion sample. And then yeah, that's the drop basically. That's all the interesting bits. We go into this little breakdown. It's basically just the intro with the drums and this up again. No wait, no it's not. No it's not. My bad. And it's got the marimbas changed. Oh no, it has got the up. My brain cells just don't work. And it's basically the same thing. The build up is just doubled for some reason. Yeah, drop fill is slightly different. This section is basically just me chopping up the original first drop and making some slight variations. It's not worth explaining, but you want to just kind of go for it, do whatever sounds cool. A lot of stuff on this album was basically just me throwing shit at a wall until it stuck. So I guess I didn't really like a lot of songs. I had a really solid idea as to what I wanted to go for. You know, did not for this song really. I kind of just did whatever worked, and then came up with a song that had horrific mixing and really disgusting high end. And I realized about halfway through producing it, I actually forgot to sidechain the main synth. So that was the cause of the loss of most of my brain cells back in March. But we are back now. Yeah, so this drop is, I don't know, it's mostly just for variation. Yeah, lots of pauses and shit. And then we have this outro.